This is the most important part. This was right after she was saying, we are run by ABC News. You should trust us, not Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. So she by saying we should trust them because they're double-checked by ABC News, and then making the stupidest statement. Like you didn't listen to what I said.
Yeah.
You didn't listen to what the wildlife biologist, and that's only a part of what he said.
I can't
the
believe
other
Joy
part of what he
Behar
said
didn't
was
weigh.
there was something before that where he was explaining encounters with giant reptiles. And then there's also, listen,
It doesn't make sense to me that a middle-aged woman could be dumb.
when you're worried about losing your job and you're worried about podcasts taking over and who's the source of news, and we said Donald Trump was Hitler, but half the country disagreed with us and he won, and this is fucking great, and Joe Rogan believes in dragons. It's just frantic.
Joe Rogan just hit The View with a $100 million lawsuit, and Sonny Hostin's brows are still stuck in shock mode. This isn't just a courtroom drama, it's a full-on roast with legal paperwork. And Joe came armed with a blowtorch. What sparked the chaos? Let's just say The View ran their mouths one too many times. Now it's Rogan versus daytime TV's finest, and spoiler, he didn't show up to play patty cake. Grab a snack. This legal brawl is just heating up, and it's gloriously off the rails.
Apparently, Joe Rogan has the most popular podcast on Spotify, and he's repeatedly spread COVID misinformation and invited guests on to do the same.
I agree that Joe Rogan is a horror. A horror.
I mean, I'm not saying that Joe Rogan should be removed from Spotify. He's got 11 million listeners. He's got a $100 million, contract as of 2020. But I do think as the podcast platform, you have to have some sort of guidelines. How about a disclaimer on his podcast that says, this is
You know things are upside down when Joe Rogan files a $100 million lawsuit, and that's still not the wildest part. No. The real show started when Rogan launched a scorched earth rant from his podcast lair, roasting The View like it was open mic night at a group therapy session for folks who skim news headlines and call it journalism.
People like our show because they know that we are checked by ABC News. But
We're checked by everybody.
Yeah, I mean, if we're wrong, we have, the legal note here.
The human legal.
But we went from Walter Cronkite, basically, to this guy, Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. I checked it. He believes in dragons? He believes in dragons.
Did you triple source that?
Yes, I did. And he also thinks that dragons, like dinosaur-y type of animals, roam the earth when...
Let's rewind this blazing fiasco to its humble origins. A cozy cauldron of outrage brewed daily on daytime TV, where the coffee's stale and accuracy is optional. The View, also known as the place where nuance goes to get buried, decided it was time to prod the bear again, their chosen target. Joe Rogan, a man whose fanbase could populate a continent and whose patience for nonsense hovers at absolute zero.
Read the thing about The View because I just thought it was funny.
What's
That's
The
the
View?
only reason why I read that about me.
Dragon lover.
Tell me
Joy
what this is.
Behar was trying to say that I believe in dragons.
Wait, what is this? I just
She
heard
said,
about
I
it.
checked it. I checked it. And the lady goes, did you double check this? She goes, I checked it. He believes in dragons.
Should be like
you think they lived
Sasquatch,
alongside of
bitch.
people?
Wait,
It was from a wildlife biologist who came on my podcast. It was from Forrest Gallant.
Sonny Hostin, always ready to turn guesswork into primetime gold, lobbed a comment at Rogan that didn't just ruffle feathers, it sent legal alarms blaring. Rogan wasn't about to take it lying down. No need for face-to-face sparring that would have been too polite. Instead, Joe returned to his studio, slid on the headphones, leaned into the mic, and dropped a verbal nuke with signature precision.
Hey, Megan, I get it. I also hate Joy Behar. So I don't love you, but I also hate that squawking bird. So I hate the whole thing. And frankly, that show, you want to talk about a show that set women back, is The View. You want to talk about that show. If the CIA is engineering, Antifa and fucking the Capitol riot, some crazy misogynist engineered The View. Because there's nothing worse than The View. In terms of there are so many brilliant women out there. None of them are on The View. None of them have gone near the set of The View. I mean, they have brought in the lowest tier of the, what is it, the Y chromosome?
No, double
The
X.
Okay.
Double X.
They brought in the lowest of the double X's for that one. It's rough.
Yeah, did you watch the episode when Tulsi Gabbard got on to defend herself and Joy Behar starts panicking and going over her notes while Tulsi's refuting everything that she said?
Yeah, I mean, Joy Behar, again, these people have dementia. These are people who should not be allowed out of the house. They have a national platform.
Rogan didn't just respond to The View, he annihilated them. And this wasn't one of their debates you can wrap up in time for a shampoo commercial. This was a firestorm, fueled by coffee and zero tolerance. Rogan torched their credibility in a glorious rant that sliced through their bluster. Like a machete through butter, he shredded their shaky logic, mocked their performative rage, and dissected their smugness, like a surgeon with a vendetta. As for Sonny, not a Pete Post lawsuit. The silence was louder than their usual shouting matches. It's like the legal team begged, please, no more damage. A small miracle, considering unscripted thoughts haven't been allowed on that show since the 90s. What made Rogan's takedown even more devastating? He didn't scream. He didn't need a crowd or cue cards. Just facts, a mic. And the focus of someone not auditioning for a daytime drama. Instead of trading jabs, he dismantled their narrative like poorly assembled furniture missing screws, missing spine. And the lawsuit, oh, it's real. Not just some celebrity hissy fit. It's a $100 million declaration. You can't spew garbage on national TV and expect a free pass. Radical concept, apparently, for The View.
Is that representative of a big constituency? I think probably yes.
Well, a lot of
MSNBC
people,
viewers are probably also thinking,
I don't even think the MSNBC viewers. I think they're a little bit more sophisticated than that.
Yeah.
This is like low information, blue no matter who, like older housewives who are mad at the world. That's the appeal that Whoopi Goldberg has. Does Whoopi have children?
No idea.
It's interesting too, like really politically motivated older women who don't have children.
Yeah,
they're very specific. Like you can kind of guess the way they.
Rogan's legal crew didn't just file a case; they dropped a precision-guided strike. Think of it as a UFC beatdown in Legolas, clean, calculated, and painful. They weren't calling the comments iffy or misunderstood. No, they labeled them straight-up defamatory, the kind that wrecks reputations, nukes deals, and turns public perception into a sideshow. And while Rogan's no stranger to drama, this wasn't the usual chaos. This crossed a red line. And when that happens, Rogan doesn't throw shade, he builds a digital funeral pyre and live-streams your professional eulogy. The View never saw it coming. One moment they're spinning recycled outrage. The next, they're headlining Rogan's global podcast roast. He didn't just respond, he staged a pay-per-view takedown. Naturally, the internet did what it does best. Ignite, Twitter morphed into a Rogan meme war zone, with Sunny Hostin trending just below how not to get sued. Reddit popped off. YouTubers racked up views faster than The View hits the moral panic button. Then, radio silence. No apology, no rebuttal, just the distant hum of panic meetings behind studio doors.
This is not really their audience. Their audience is a group of people they bring in to watch television shows. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen audiences before for TV shows, but a lot of them are paid. They're paid to be there. So, because they have to guarantee that there's going to be people there. So there's services that you hire. And when a show gets really, really popular, you know, like Letterman or something like that, obviously it has its own fan base.
Right.
And those people will try to get tickets before anybody else does. And in that case, they probably don't need to use a service anymore. They just get actual fans. But arguably, like the fans, the real fans of The View that are like, oh, these ladies are on point. Most of those people can't leave the house. Like they're probably
Sunny Hostin, who usually dives into debate like a shark to chum, suddenly turned mute like a kid caught with cookie crumbs on their face. The peacock lost its feathers mid-strut, and that hush only fed Rogan's fire. Each new podcast, every sly reference, was more kindling tossed into The View's flaming reputation. And Rogan didn't even need to embellish, just connecting dots was enough to scorch. By standing his ground, he didn't just protect his image, he reminded millions why they'd rather hear his freeform thoughts. Then The View's curated outrage. The irony is thick. A crew that built careers on dishing criticism suddenly couldn't take the heat. Turns out when defamation bites back, it bites hard. The lawsuit sparked bigger questions too. When does opinion become defamation? Why does The View act like moral outrage grants them legal immunity? Rogan's answer was simple. You don't get to fabricate and call it commentary, especially when your subject has a platform louder than your entire audience combined. And then stillness. Not dramatic, camera-ready silence. Real, awkward. Silence, Sunny, the queen of unsolicited monologues, suddenly vanished into the ether. No rage, no rebuttal, just the eerie quiet of someone who finally met a controversy they couldn't out-argue.
Rogan here. Did you see Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons, I guess, according to Joy Behar, and he changed his X profile. Did you see this?
I did see that.
It now just simply says dragon believer. He had talked about dragons on the show. It's, the thing of it is, you take anything out of context and you can make fun of it and mock it. And so, let's do that. It goes without saying, Joe Rogan, how many times more intelligent do you think Joe Rogan is than Joy Behar? What
Infinite.
multiple?
Infinite.
6 times, 8 times, 12 times, 30. It's like a math problem you can't solve. You could fit 35 of Joy Behar's brains into Joe Rogan's cranium and he would lose IQ points. But people believe dumb.
Let's be real when The View goes mute. After getting slapped with a $100 million lawsuit, it's not strategy, it's surrender. They've gone statue mode while Rogan's over here with a flamethrower and a megaphone. Picture a duel where one side shows up with a spoon, and the other's already buried them with a gravestone labeled oops. And that's silence. It's backfiring. Rogan's rants are now viral fuel. Every day they don't respond is another day the internet remixes his takedown, turns court documents into memes, and treats his rebuttal like it's a leaked Beyonce album. Rogan could have dropped this as a Netflix doc, and it would have topped the charts. Meanwhile, Sonny, usually bursting with unsolicited lectures, is reportedly on legal lockdown, trapped in a room with Oprah reruns and a muted microphone, because when a $100 million lawsuit drops, you don't clap back, you call your lawyer and pray your Wi-Fi crashes before TMZ catches wind. As Rogan's words spread like wildfire, The View's polished image starts cracking. People are finally realizing that shows less a source of insight and more a live feed of Facebook and drama with a camera budget.
In fairness, though, I mean, The View has to be, if you average out The View hosts, among the dumbest people on television. And it's like they say the thing that people are thinking, but they say it very directly, so they expose whatever truth. But
I don't think some of them are dumb.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think Sonny Hostin's
You think it's
dumb.
deliberate?
I think she's ideologically driven, and they have blinders on, for sure. I don't think Sonny's dumb. But Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked and half baked, and you went on stage with it and just it's nothing.
The thing this isn't just a lawsuit. It's a cultural standing ovation from everyone who ever rolled their eyes at The View, pretending to represent all women, all liberals, or anyone who's read more than one book cover to cover. Rogan didn't just clap back, he submitted a formal rebuttal, podcasted through the wreckage, and watched them collapse like patio furniture in a windstorm. And the most awkward part, The View can't even spin it into one of their heartstring. Let's reflect moments. No soft lighting, no teary-eyed apology segment. Just silence, the kind that says, we messed up and we know it. Meanwhile, Rogan's sipping mushroom tea, interviewing cave dwellers turned authors, and casually nuking institutions with his Wi-Fi. He's playing for decultural chess while The View tries to figure out which remote works the TV. And let's not pretend this was ever even. Rogan's audience dwarfs theirs. His podcast is a global empire. The View? A televised group text chain where logic gets left on read. Comparing the two is like pitting a Tesla against a rusted tricycle with one pedal missing.
Strange show, but it's fun to watch. It's just fun to watch them.
It's good entertainment.
Yeah,
undoubtedly.
Well, they're just, it's interesting because I think Sonny is very intelligent, but she's ideologically captured.
Right.
That's sort of. I think the other ones there's a couple of the other ones don't have to name any names. Who are just very dull-minded. But I think Sonny's not one of them. I think she's smart but captured.
Sure, I think she came into it with an agenda.
Of course. They do everything with an agenda.
Yeah.
Rogan's listeners didn't just support him, they turned the entire internet into a weaponized defense squad. Clips, edits, hashtags. It was digital justice served steaming hot. The View might hold a morning slot, but Rogan owns the algorithm. And the wildest part, he never once stepped foot on their set or gave them FaceTime. That made it hurt even more. He dismantled their argument remotely, like a sniper in headphones. Because this wasn't about one dumb comment. That's just Tuesday. This was about consequences. Sure. The lawsuit will wind through the system. Maybe there's a settlement. Maybe it's a full-blown trial with fake ferns and courtroom sketches. But culturally, Rogan already won. He didn't need drama, he used precision. He didn't yell, he used logic. Dripping in sarcasm and sleeveless confidence. and in the process, he sent a warning to every camera-hungry pundit, talk all you want, but remember some words cost real money. And this time, the Bills got 8 figures.
Show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
They get so much hate watching and hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean, it is a rabies-infested henhouse.
But hey, maybe Sunny can still make a comeback. Maybe next week she'll explain quantum mechanics, or claim weather patterns are part of a right-wing conspiracy. You never know, The View loves a good reinvention arc. Until then, she might want to read the disclaimer before her next hot take. Especially the fine print where legal says, don't provoke the guy with the golden ring, and a Spotify empire. Meanwhile, Joe's just doing his thing, talking, questioning, laughing, occasionally vaporizing someone's career from the comfort of a podcast chair. No cue cards, no producers, just pure, unfiltered Rogan with a brain full of facts and a mouth full of thermonuclear comebacks.